6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Lamani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The Education Ministry says it is committed to expedite the process of evaluating the GC Advanced Level Answer Scripts. Compensation worth 1.5 billion rupees will be paid to those who have lost their jobs due to the Express Pearl vessel disaster. State Minister Ranjit Siamlapity says that the Asian Development Bank has accepted that Sri Lanka has entered into the right track of recovering its economy. Special arrangements have been made to provide transport facilities for the people during the New Year season. In news overseas, Israel strikes in Lebanon and Gaza after major rocket attack. And in sports news, it's cricket. Sri Lanka meet New Zealand in the third and final T20 cricket match today. Those were the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the local news. Through a special announcement, the Education Ministry says that measures have been taken to increase the payments for scrutinizing the GC Advanced Level Answer Scripts. Accordingly, a combined allowance of 500 rupees paid per day to evaluate the answer scripts have been increased to 2,000 rupees and decided to pay 2,900 rupees allowance for teachers who come to exam duties from a distance of more than 81 kilometers. Additional allocations were also combined from the Treasury for the above purpose. In addition to this, initial discussions with the university lecturers was held on the 9th of March at the Prime Minister's office, in which all relevant parties, including Treasury officials, participated. The University Teachers Association has also been informed about this. Only 12,000 of the total requirement of 19,000 inspectors had applied for it. The Education Ministry says it is committed to expedite the process of evaluating the GC Advanced Level Answer Scripts. The Ministry of Fisheries has taken effective measures to provide compensation worth 1.5 billion rupees to those who have lost their jobs due to the Express Pearl vessel disaster. Large number of fishermen's income and jobs were lost due to this incident. The Treasury has handed over the compensation amount of 1.5 billion rupees given by the insurance company related to Express Pearl ship to the Ministry of Fisheries for further processing. This amount will be distributed among 16,867 fishermen. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siamlapity says that the Asian Development Bank has accepted that Sri Lanka has entered into the right track of recovering its affected economy. By its latest periodic progress report issued this month, the ADB has predicted that Sri Lanka's economy will gain positive momentum by next year, as the IMF has made very important recommendations such as to strengthen the social security network, maintain transparency, continue the anti-corruption drive, strengthen the local banks and restructure loss-making state sector institutions. The island will be able to revitalize the contracted economy into the positive level. At a media briefing held in Ruanvalla area recently, Minister Siamlapity said that these are the avenues that would help us to get the country out of the current crisis. Actually, these are the strategies that we should adopt by ourselves to take the country forward. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
And we continue with more local news. The National Transport Commission says that special arrangements have been made to provide transport facilities for the people during the New Year season. NTC Director General Nilan Miranda said special arrangements have been made for public transport until the 18th of April. Under this special program, buses will operate to other provinces from Colombo until the 15th of April. Similarly, arrangements have also been made for the commuters to return to Colombo from their respective places from the 15th of April to the 18th. Also, arrangements have been made to assign a fleet of 7,000 Sri Lanka Transport Board buses and private buses to provide transport facilities from Colombo. An additional arrangement has been made to assign another 300 private buses in the special situation. Sri Lankan migrant workers' foreign remittances have seen a sharp increase in March 2023, according to the figures published by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Thereby, the workers' remittances amounted to $568.3 million last month, recording an increase of more than $161 million from February 2023. Sri Lanka consecutively registered over $400 million in migrant workers' remittances in the first quarter of the year 2023, with cumulative inflows reaching $1.4 million. Workers' remittances climbed to $437.5 million and $407.0 million in the months of January and February, respectively. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The Education Ministry says it is committed to expedite the process of evaluating the GC advanced level answer scripts. Compensation worth 1.5 billion rupees will be paid to those who have lost their jobs due to the Express Pearl vessel disaster. State Minister Ranjit Siamlapity says that the Asian Development Bank has accepted that Sri Lanka has entered into the right track of recovering its economy. Special arrangements have been made to provide transport facilities for the people during the New Year season. And that was the local news.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for this morning, Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amaraveera has decided not to grant approval for long-term overseas travel abroad for officials attached to the agricultural sector. He said this covers the central government and provincial council agriculture sector officials. Currently, a lot of vacancies in many positions, such as agriculture inspector, especially those working in the agriculture sector, is prevailing. No recruitment has been done to fill these vacancies for years. If the officials of the agriculture sector go abroad for a long period of time, there is a risk that the agriculture sector of the country would collapse completely. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
CIB New Year Bonanza. Special gifts and vouchers available till the 10th of April. Special discounts up to 20% on bank cards. CIB, excellence in customer care.
In Watch Life this morning, the health authorities warn that the number of diagnosed patients in the society may exceed the annual number of tuberculosis cases reported to hospitals. According to reports, there could be a substantial number of children under the age of 15. And that came to you in Watch Light.
CIB New Year Bonanza. Special gifts and vouchers available till the 10th of April. Special discounts up to 20% on bank cards. CIB, excellence in customer care.
Headlines of the world news. Israel strikes Lebanon and Gaza after major rocket attack. Russia charges a U.S. journalist with spying. A study finds people were taking drugs in Spain 3,000 years ago. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the world news. The Israeli military has carried out airstrikes on targets belonging to Palestinian militant groups Hamas in the southern Lebanon and Gaza Strip. The military said the attacks were a response to a barrage of 34 rockets fired from Lebanon into the northern Israel on Thursday, which it blamed on Hamas. Militants in Gaza fired dozens more rockets after the strikes began. Tensions are high following the 2 nights of Israeli police raids at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem earlier this week. U.S. journalist Ivan Gershowik has been formally charged with spying in Russia, according to local media. Mr. Gershowik, as experienced Russian reporter, was arrested last week in the city of Yekaterinburg while he was working for the Wall Street Journal. The media report said categorically that he rejected the accusations against him. The newspaper has demanded his immediate release. Following this arrest, the Kremlin said he had been caught red-handed. People were getting high on drugs in Spain around 3,000 years ago, according to a new research. Scientists say that hair from a burial site in Morocco shows that ancient human civilizations used drugs derived from plants and bushes. It is believed to be Europe's oldest direct evidence of people taking drugs. They could have induced delirium, the researchers have found. And that was the world news.
Development News.
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara said that a survey on the identification of government buildings and religious institutes for the project to fix rooftop solar panels will be completed by the 15th of April. Minister Wijesekara stated that at a meeting was held to review the progress of the ongoing project, which is being implemented with the assistance of $100 billion credit line from the Government of India. The minister further stated that 90% of the surveys have been completed on identifying schools, national schools, universities, technical colleges, teaching schools, armed forces buildings, police stations, religious institutes of all religions that have no income, and other government buildings. And that came to you in the segment of Development News. And now let's move on to sports news. Sri Lanka will meet New Zealand in the third and final T20 cricket match today at John Davis Oval Grounds in Queenstown in their first T20 game at this venue, which is also the first T20 international at the venue. The two teams last time met at this venue in an ODI way back in the year 2006, which was won by New Zealand. This game is very vital for both teams to record a series win. The first game at Auckland ended in a tie and Sri Lanka won the super over, while in the second game, New Zealand got an easy 9-wicket win with 32 balls to spare. New Zealand won the toss and elected to field a short while ago. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lankan bonds plunged around 400 basis points last Thursday after Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe said that restructuring will be voluntary, dealers said. A bond maturing on the 15th of September 2027 traded at 25%.